Okay, and welcome back to the channel, buddy, and I hope you're doing fine. Today we're gonna talk about Blademancer, we're gonna discuss it a little bit, and also try to rebalance it to bring it back into the game once the event is over. Because honestly, I don't think there will be a hotfix. There's a couple things we're gonna talk about, so as always, voila, an overview, and you can just use the timestamps to jump to the chapters that you find interesting. Let's go. So first, let's check real quick, what does Blademancer actually do? Trick shooter troop, using Darksight, take retrievable ammo in front of you, does damage to enemies if stuck in them. Runes and saw blades prevent them from being retrieved, range 100 meters. So, I personally think this trait is amazing. Yeah, not gonna talk about the balance part here, I'm gonna talk about the quality of life part. You know, I'm a throwing knife enjoyer, I like to play a bow and a crossbow sometimes, and it's just great that you can take out all that special AI quietly, right? There's a hive on the rooftop, you shoot it. Now the problem is, well, your bolt or your arrow, whatever, is up there. You know, you have to go up there, retrieve it, and then you can move along. Right now, Blademancer, bam, you suck back your arrow, bolt, whatever, and you can move along, and that is great. The next thing is, for example, with the throwing knives, when you kill AI and they're like walking on planks and stuff like that, or sometimes even on stairs, your throwing knives, for example, they glitch under the floor or under the planks and you cannot get them back. But with Blademancer, no issue. Now there are a few crazy things though, because Blademancer does not need a line of sight and it works with stuff like Berserker. Okay, so now you know what it does, let's talk about why is it broken. And the reason why Blademancer is broken is because it is way too strong in PvP. I mean, even in PvE it's insane. You toss a couple throwing knives into a meathead, then you use Blademancer, you pull them out, and the pullout damage is killing the meathead. It's crazy. You can even use throwing knives against bosses kinda reliably and kinda efficiently, which is also weird because they were absolute garbage. And, well, Blademancer works with Berserker. And believe me, the damage that thing deals is absolutely insane. I'm gonna show you now a couple clips, and it showcases pretty nicely why Blademancer is not okay right now. Oh, fuck. Not bad for missing the first shot, huh? Okay. Dude, she had no idea from where I shot them. We were just talking about it. You get tagged and you die to it. The end. No loss, no nothing.
Somebody's closer.
Bro! 80 damage!
Yeah, Blademancer.
Now, 80 was maybe an exaggeration, but definitely like 73 damage or something like that. And it's absolutely wild. Multiple reasons why this is broken. First of all, the damage is way too high. Second, the range is insane. Third, you don't need a line of sight. And, well, 4, there is not really a counterplay. Right? The counterplay is to stop the bleed. Now, this takes a while. And hitting Darksight does not. So the guy using Darksight to trigger Blademancer to pull out the arrow, the bolt or whatever will always be faster than you stopping the bleed. Also getting into cover and you think you're safe, no you're not, you will still die. And it's very frustrating to die to this. I mean, using it and getting kills with it is of course fun, but I think when we take a step back and look at the balance of the game overall, Blademancer is not good. Now for the whole PvE shenanigans, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's an event trait, not that big of a deal. But for the PvP, the moment, or like right now where I make this video, we have another 4 to 5 weeks of the event. And I don't think we will see a hotfix for that. Now, I have to give credit to Crytek for actually doing a hotfix during an event. And it's been forever since they did that. And I'm always preaching they need to do this more. Like after the first or 2 weeks, you can see that something is broken, adjust it so the rest of the event duration is not frustrating and annoying. So that's a big thumbs up for balancing the shredder. I'm not 100% convinced that every change was justified. For example, the 9 pledge marks for the shredder was kind of overkill because, well, limiting accessibility to a weapon does not balance the weapon. Does that make sense? Well, okay. Now, back to Blademancer though. I don't think that we will see a hotfix, and honestly, I kinda understand it this time. They made the hotfix for the shredder before Christmas, and then there was like, I think another week before Christmas. That means another hotfix would probably hit around Christmas. Now the issue is, if that hotfix has an issue and breaks something, well, people are on holiday over Christmas, right? So you don't want to risk that. I get it. Now people are back from the Christmas break. It will probably take them a week to figure out a hotfix and implement it, and it also costs money and blah blah blah. And then there's only like 3 to 4 weeks left of the event. So this is why I personally think we will not see a hotfix. Although a whole month of Blademancer, yeah, it would probably justify a hotfix, but I don't want to be too greedy here. Now, we talked about this. Next, is there a way to fix Blademancer? Now there's multiple things that you can do to adjust Blademancer. Now, first of all, it should show the distance to the killer, because right now when you die to it, it says melee. That is information that you get denied, and it's crucial information for yourself after self-reviving, or for telling your teammates, hey, the guy's at 50 meters, 60 meters, it helps them out. Right? I'm not 100% sure what happens when you die to bullet damage. Do you actually fall away from the killer? Because normally when you die, when you get shot, you always fall backwards away from the guy who killed you. So when you check the corpse or the body of a teammate, you can actually see from where they got killed. There are a few exceptions, for example, when they bleed out to dum-dum rounds, then they don't do that. But otherwise, you know then the distance and from where they got shot. And I'm not actually 100% sure if you drop away from the Blademancer guy. I think you do. I think you do, because it counts as a melee action. It should. Alright, so that is already information that gets denied, so show the distance to the actual killer. The next thing is that you do a damage drop-off. Now, it's kind of weird that there is damage drop-off for most weapons in the game, but not for Blademancer. So it seems like you always deal max damage, no matter how far away the enemy is. So that would be another thing that you could balance. The next thing is that you need a line of sight. I mean, when I'm in cover, I should not die. I mean, there are weapons with, for example, FMJ, and they can do that, or pen most of the obstacles. You cannot shoot the big trees, and you cannot shoot through, like, whole forts, but Blademancer does not care. You can be behind 3 buildings, and you will still die, which is awkward. So maybe needing a line of sight can help that, because very often you peek, you get shot, but then you can go back into cover before the guy can hit dark side, and you don't instantly die. So that would be another, well, I think, solution. The next thing that you could do is, the moment you pull out with Blademancer, be it from AI or players, or maybe even you separate that, you do not deal damage. And it becomes a quality of life trait, which in my opinion is what we should aim for here. And the next thing is probably the most severe one. You cannot pull out bolts and arrows out of living creatures with Blademancer. So the enemy needs to stop the bleed until the arrow, the bolt or whatever drops on the floor. The AI needs to die to a second arrow, second bolt, doesn't matter. And once it's on the floor or the enemy is dead, then you can retrieve it with Blademancer. That's the extreme balancing approach here. Another way how you could balance this, reduce the range. 100 meters? Go into the shooting range and ping 100 meters. That is ridiculously far. Nobody ever uses a bow normally at 100 meters. Super rare that you actually do that. And now keep in mind that probably you can do a mix of all my suggestions. You can go the super hard approach and absolutely go Crytek balancing and nerf it into the ground, completely unusable, and make it 7 or 8 points. I would prefer not to do that. Now, let's have a look at another question. Do we actually need that perk again after the event? And I would say yes. I would like to see Blademancer return as a quality of life trait, at least, okay? Right now, when I don't have my Blademancer, a new fresh hunter, and I use my throwing knives, I feel like the absolute peasant running around picking up little pennies. That's how it feels like. It's annoying. Make it a quality of life perk, maybe 2 points, that you can retrieve throwing knife bolts and arrows out of non-living creatures. There you go. That's all I would like to see. That's it. It is too strong. It is lame dying to it. It feels unfair and bad dying to it. Sure, crossbow and bow and all that stuff kind of suffers from the, well, my arms are my armor situation. So when people aim at you, lots of surface from their torso is covered and you will hit the arm. With bullets work this way. When you have the arm here, but there's the torso hitbox behind it, it still counts as a torso shot. Not with the bow and the arrow. That's also the reason why very often close range you shoot the crossbow against a shotgun. The guy kills you, but you don't kill him because the arm is catching the bolt. And that feels bad. Now, to be fair, Blademancer does not help there, but sometimes you hit them and they survive and they miss, and then there is not enough time to use the follow-up shot with your crossbow, and then Blademancer can come in clutch, but that would at least require a line of sight. So how exactly should the end result look for Blademancer? I'm not 100% sure. I would make it a quality of life perk. Drop in the comment section below your 2 cents. I would like to read that. Maybe there is something that I did not consider yet that you could implement to balance out Blademancer. And then I hope that Crytek will implement the trait very soon. That would be great. Also, if you like these kind of videos, drop a little like to support so people can see it. And it's also helping me out with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. And with that, shorter video, shorter podcast discussion video. And I wish you all a happy day. So yeah, Blademancer, absolutely OP, broken, can be very fun when you use it, super obnoxious and super unfair when you're on the receiving end. Now, look at this beautiful wall, my patrons. Thank you very much for supporting me over on Patreon. As always, you guys are much appreciated. And I wish you, again, once more, a happy 2025. Thank you for watching. Balancing event traits is always difficult. You want to make them strong because they're event perks, but on the other hand, when you don't intervene quickly, kinda meh. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a good day and bye-bye.